God, no, that's actually so crazy. Like you were becoming like the female version of the new One Direction.
Yeah, I mean, like when I remember when we were at X Factor and they started like calling our names up, I was like, I know this fucking story. I have seen it.
Obviously, there was a lot of drama when you walked away from the group.
Yeah.
And now that like time has passed and you look back at everything, like how do you feel about how everything went down?
I feel like I'm like can really focus on and remember the really joyful times. And, you know, I grew a lot in that group. And I remember waking up on tour and going to my hotel room at like 7 a.m. and going to my garage band and like writing songs because I didn't want to like, you know, do it while everybody was there. And I just like, I had such a passion for that turned into writing. And at first I was like, oh, maybe like I want to write for other people. But then it turned into like, no, actually like I want to sing these songs by myself. And I started just like distancing myself from, I feel like, the group vision. And it felt like, you know, they were still like really passionate and into that. And so I just was like, I'm just like I'm not happy here anymore. Like it doesn't feel aligned. You know?
I think also like that's so okay. And I think there's two parts of it. One, people can look back and be heartbroken that something breaks up. So understandable, similar to One Direction.
Of course it is. Like, oh my God. Yeah,
but
it is.
It's kind of necessary to grow.
It's like any breakup. Like, it sucks.
Yes, which we're gonna get into. Okay. So I'm thinking back, you joined this group at 15, and I'm thinking about like you were in it for 4 years. That's basically like a high school experience. Like,
oh my God,
like,
yes it is.
Crazy. You're a celebrity at such a young age. You're touring, you're busy. Did you have time to date? How did you meet guys? What was the vibe?
When I was 15 to 19, it was like guys that, you know, maybe like not a lot, like a few. And it was very like we saw each other maybe once or twice a year. I really started dating and whatever, like probably when I was like 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
because before that, it was just like the group was like all encompassing.
That was your
everything.
relationship.
That was my relationship. Yeah.
I feel like everyone remembers their first love. I remember mine. I feel like you can kind of never be the same after it because it teaches you so much, and it is, you experience so many firsts with this person. What comes to your mind when you think of like
my first love? My first love was, I feel like I've had a few, maybe a couple great loves.
Okay.
How about you?
I think I've had a couple as well. I think it's interesting because now that I'm engaged, I look back on it and
I'm like, that wasn't.
Well, it's interesting. It's like, it's different. And I talk about this with Matt all the time. And I'm so happy that we have a healthy enough relationship to talk about exes and not be like insecure about it, which I would have been insecure in past relationships to talk about exes. But when I think about being in love, I definitely can pinpoint like the first person I was in love with that I met when I was like 16, and it was just this like all-encompassing,
oh God,
just,
yeah,
like,
me too,
wrecks you.
Me too. And 17 was probably my first like really in love. I don't know, it's like there's so many different connotations to in love though, because sometimes it's like, who was I happiest with? Or who made me the most devastated? And sometimes it's like, God, what even is the right definition of in love? Because there were people there was, you know, one person that made me the happiest, and there was the other person that made me the most sick and crazy. Right. And I don't know what is the definition of like, what's the most in love, you know?
It's a good point. It's like, I feel like when I look back, I agree with you. All of my loves are different. Yeah. But it's also just so fucking weird because you are so different. And I think of like what I was giving maybe in my first love. Like, I was definitely not someone bringing health and wellness to the relationship.
Oh
like,
my God.
It was like fighting and writing letters and like that. It was like that Notebook type of love where it's like so fucking hard and devastating. You're just like, fuck my life. But when you leave those type of relationships, I feel like it leaves the biggest lasting memory for a while because it was so hard and you fought so much and it was so loving but then difficult that like you can kind of romanticize it once you leave. Where the people that left you happy, and if it was more stable, I have found it was easier to move on from just because I can like kind of put it in a corner of my brain and be like, that was so great, but I know it wasn't meant to be. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, totally. I mean, I think like there is a part of me that still, it depends what mood I'm in. Sometimes I really want peace and happiness, and other times I still miss and love that chaotic, sickening feeling. And I don't know what that is. I have to explore it further in therapy. But there is something like so kind of like addictive about that. And you know, it's interesting because it's like, you know, it's like the classic like nervous system quote, like whatever. I mean, actually, I don't know why I said classic, because it's not a classic. Classic.
But it's relatable.
You know, that quote is like, find someone that's good for your nervous system.
Yes.
A lot of the times the people that do make you feel fucking sick with love are not good for your nervous system.
But it's addictive.
But it feels so good and terrible at the same time.
Because when it's good, it's so fucking good.
Because when it's good, it's like, you could cut my leg off today. I will be smiling all teeth, you know?
But when it's bad, and I think this is what's so interesting, when it is bad, and I think back to those type of relationships, there's something like that makes you feel even more romantic about it, because it's like we're fighting, we're working, we're like
totally.
It's just, it is kind of convoluted, and there are some relationships that take a lot of work to then get to be good, or there are just a lot of relationships that just shouldn't fucking work, but we put so much into them because it is addicting.
And it really changes, I feel like, as you age. Like I feel like when I was younger, so many relationships were like my projection of people in my head.
Yes.
And I really romanticized the shit out of them. And I really took a little thing that they said and I just ran with that. Totally. You know? But now I find that it's like the people that you meet that are like really exciting and how you have real chemistry with, it's rare and hard to find.
It is so fucking hard to find. I find like the first couple hangouts, you will kind of be able to just gauge like if it's there, because I'm not someone that's as much of like a slow burn type of person.
I am not a slow burn. And what sucks is that I hear that that's the healthiest thing. No. It's like, I've heard podcasts or where people are like, if you kind of like this person and if you're curious, just go on a second date. And I'm just the kind of person that's like, if I am not like going to sleep, like wanting to have you inside me. Like
no, I get it.
Honestly, that's extreme. Maybe not that. But if I don't leave the date and I'm like, wow, it's really hard for me to have that slow burn approach, but I'm trying to be more like that. I think it's just...
I agree. I also just want to validate you because it's not extreme what you just said. I think when I've left first dates, you want to like, I know it sounds fucking crazy, but this is a girl podcast, so everyone girl will get it. You leave and you can like literally quickly go through like picturing yourself in like positions with them and places, positions physically and like places in life, and just like kind of quickly the next year with them, and you're like picturing like the next date and your sexual chemistry.
It's disgusting.
You can kind of envision it. And then if I can't with someone, it's hard to go on the second date.
I know, but a lot of people say like you should, and you know, and
fuck us.
Yeah, I know.
You're like, God damn it.
It's interesting, but
so you're single.
I love it.
You're
I am.
single.
Yeah.
What is single Camila like?
Okay, I try to really prioritize that part of my life.
Okay.
Because it just makes me feel, it's just so fun.
Yeah.
I honestly love being single. I love it. But I've been in relationships for a lot of since I started dating. Like since I started dating when I was 20, I was in long-term relationships a lot. So it feels fun to just like get to know people and like talk and like see what happens.
Yeah, those beginning stages are like
beginning stage. Also my weakness, because I love a beginning stage. It's so fun.
It's so good. It's I think why I had such a hard time getting into serious relationships for a while, because the thrill and the excitement and the unknown is so fun, and then once it becomes like predictable, I used to be like bye. But
I feel that
when you get older again, like you start to realize there can be a balance.
And you start to realize there are other things that are important. Like you can go deeper, and that's surprising. And you know, at the end of the day, it's like we're people that are, I really believe like we're never just one person. We are constantly changing. Like Matt could be a different person in 2 years, he will be a new person.
Yeah.
And so there's always something new.
Yeah,
But,
that's a good point.
But I do feel like I'm like, I think also because I was just in like a heavy, like, you know, like writing process, writing stage. It's really experiences. I'm just like so hungry for experiences. Like the more experiences,
the better.
The better.
Okay, so one experience you had recently that we all saw online
was
you were on a vacation with Drake.
Oh gosh. Well, you know what?
I have to ask. I can't not ask.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Have you guys ever been a thing?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't say like straight up vacation.
Okay.
It was vacation plus some work.
Oh.
God.
Oh, wait. The whole internet just broke.
So it was vacation plus some work. But I will say, you know what? I love that man. I love him.
We all love that man.
We all love him, right?
The internet really loved him recently.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so have you ever had, can we confirm or no?
Have I ever had what?
Like a little thing with Drake.
A beautiful artistic collaboration with him?
Yes.
I may or may not have.
What is it like going on vacation with Drake?
Okay, first of all, we did not go on vacation.
Like the two.
This was like a homie, like friends trip. Okay. So let me break this down.
Rewind.
Okay. So basically, Drake was a big love him as an artist for real.
Me too.
Love him as, like, right?
Yes.
He's the best.
Yes.
Who the goat? I love him so much, and I really listened to him a lot during my writing process, during my album. And I really felt like he would like my album.
Love.
For real.
Confidence. Fucking love it.
And so I DM'd him and I was like, hey, I really want to play. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put it out there.
That's fucking baller.
We gotta make shit happen.
You gotta make shit happen.
We gotta make shit happen. So I DM'd him and I was like, I would love to play you my album. I honestly feel like you would really love it because, you know, because I listen to him a lot and I just feel like I really do feel like musically in a lot of ways we like the same things.
Yep.
And I feel, yeah. So we hung out. I played him my album.
What'd he say?
He loved it.
Okay.
And I thought that he would. And I was like so excited. It was also such a surreal moment for me to like play Drake my songs and like,
dude,
you know, that's
insane.
another one of those things that you're just like, wow, I would have never expected.
It's like
that this would happen.
A dream.
It's a dream.
Like,
it's a dream. I remember being there and being like, wow, this is like so fucking sick.
Right.
And he's so generous and so kind. But anyway, so I didn't like just go on vacation with him. It was like a vacation, like work thing. But honestly, I will say I love him. And that has been such a fun part about this whole experience. Like this has been it's been a really insular process in terms of like me taking it back to basics, in terms of like me like really focusing on like, you know, my craft of writing or whatever. But at the same time, literally I could chug this whole thing right now of like huge toast to that. And he's amazing and I love him.
Let's do a toast to Drake.
Toast to Drake. To Champagne Poppy.
God bless.
Yeah,
we all love you.
God bless. We really do love you. I love you.
Dude, okay, so you are single. So what is the approach to dating? Are you looking for something serious? Are you going on dates? Like what is happening?
As far as looking for something serious, I don't know. I have phases. Like maybe like 2 weeks ago, I'm like, oh my God, like I want to really have something real with someone. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready for something real again. And then I am like, you know, talking and like meeting someone new. And I'm like, oh my God, I love this. This is so fun. I don't want anything serious right now. So it really is like, it's different phases. I really think I'm like, there's so much going on right now that if it was somebody serious, I would really have to connect with them on a really deep level, which I always hope it is. I'm a hopeless romantic at heart. Like I love my fun, but I'm a hopeless romantic for sure. And I literally, if I have like a great kiss with somebody, I'm like, I would die for you.
Right. Like we're in love.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Are you someone that will have a roster? Like what's the situation? Are you good at handling multiple men at once?
I do like a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit of like a, you know, there's like maybe a few vibes.
Yes.
There's a few vibes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think
that.
there's a different level of like, for some people, roster is like, the intimacy is like maybe sleeping with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's too much for me. It's more kind of like vibes and talking, hanging out, whatever. Yeah. But I can't be serious, at least at this point, with more than one person.
I completely agree. I feel like when you're in the single stage, it's helpful to kind of just like pick around and just kind of like keep a couple people in the arena just to be like,
that's where I am. Like, what's your vibe? Yeah. What's your vibe?
Right. And then like once one kind of drops off, you can pick up a new one.
Yeah.
But it's fun. And
you're my new favorite.
Yes. Yeah. And I think as busy as you are, I get that. It's like, unless the person is going to be like, holy fucking shit, this is like
if you're
late night till 3 a.m. you're fucking talking.
Exactly. If it's late night till 3 a.m. and we have this insane connection and I'm like, oh, you're like, it's giving father of my children vibe. Like I will fly anywhere you like, what you come, like whatever, then I will do that. But if it's like, I liked him and he was cute and that was cute, then it's like, I'll see you when I see you.
Wait, have you ever flown a guy somewhere?
Only in like relationships vibes.
Okay.